following is a production of Watlington Shires and Pierce Productions.
Always forget to check the microphone. That's always the last thing. But anyway, welcome here to the Piney Area Coaches Show, folks. It is Monday night, and I am your host, Larry Pierce, here, and we're going to be joined with Mr. Steven Shires. He'll be here in just a bit. Chris Wallington will be here, and I think we're going to have Coach Wallace and maybe even Coach Barnes from San Augustine. We're going to see how things go here. But we're underway here, get a fresh week going, and we got a lot of things to talk about what we did last week, a lot of things going on this week as we get closer to the end of October. And at the end of October, you get into the first part of November, we find the final weeks of the football season. We find out about the playoffs. The volleyball teams are now going to get into the playoffs as well. And we're going to be covering some of those. We're going to talk about some of those teams that I think will be making the playoffs and some of those teams that we'll be able to cover as we go into it. And it all depends, too, on the volleyball because, you know, Friday night is football, and we may have some Saturday here and there. But I'm hoping, I don't know because this is my first year, I'm hoping that we may have some of these volleyball playoff games, hopefully maybe away from Friday night. That way we can get them covered for you. And it'll probably on the NFHS network whenever the playoffs come around. Doesn't matter what sport it is, it's usually on the NFHS network unless there's some other arrangements made. So just be aware of that if you want to watch some of the volleyball playoffs this year that we cover. The same thing goes with the football playoffs. There are some times whenever, like in the center, the guys usually find some good sponsors that take care of that broadcast right price. But there are some times whenever we're not able to do that. So make sure you have your NFHS subscription. Costs you about $13 a month. That way you can watch all the games. You can go back and watch them there when it comes to playoff time and the live streaming. And the crazy thing about that is I'm not trying to down them or anything like that, but even though we're putting it out a good out, we're sending it out there pretty good. Sometimes it's a little lagging coming from them. I don't know if that's the thing, but I'm not trying to blame anybody for anything. But I know that we put out some good stuff, and I know that there's times whenever we've had some issues as well. I'm not going to try to deny that, but sometimes it works that way on both ends. But the NFHS network is what the UIL demands that we do and go through, so that's what we have to do whenever it comes to playoff time. All right, so that's just coming up here in a few weeks. And also got to chat with a couple of basketball coaches as well. Got a lot of things coming up for basketball season, getting ready to put the basketball schedule together because the girls are going to start playing some basketball here before too long, and we're definitely going to start covering those coming up here in the month of November as well after we get through the volleyball playoffs and we'll get into football. So be ready for all of that on the way as well. So let's get to it here. It is the Piney Area Coaches Show. We're going to get things going here as some coaches on the way. We're going to start talking about some volleyball that's on the way right here at the Pizzeria here on NetSN.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the Pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the Pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center.
Batters Law Firm is your first choice in personal injury law. Jeff Batters and his staff lead the way in the area with Best of Nacogdoches and Best of Lufkin votes over the last several years. If your case matters, it's got to be Batters.
At Watson & Sons, their family serves your family. It begins with their facilities, their inviting and warm chapel, and their elegant lobby, and their unique product room where you can shop for the choices your tribute requires. They've been serving your family at Watson & Sons since Scott built it in 1998, but their family has been serving you for over a century.
All right, folks, we are back here as the Piney Woods Area Coaching Show underway here today, and we're going to start off talking about some volleyball because, we always have our Piney Woods volleyball game of the week. That is on Tuesday night, so we got that coming up for you here, and let's get after it. So, let's start off in the center is where we were started off here this past Tuesday. The Lady Rough Riders haven't got to cover the Lady Rough Riders in volleyball in a few weeks, but it's happy to get back there and still not into the new activity center, and I'm just giving Coach Meeks a hard time about that, but I know that when we get there here next week, I know that we're going to be in the new activity center, and I'm just looking forward to that. It's going to be a beautiful thing. So let's talk about that game there as they took on. Let's see, as they took on the ladies of the Lady Panthers of Bullard. I'm going to get it right. I had a little bit of stumble last week, didn't I got it. The Lady Panthers of Bullard. That's who they took on to get going there. And I even had my good friend Chris Waddington was able to join me for a little while there the other evening. That was pretty cool to have him out there and his first time opportunity to come out and hang out with us for the volleyball action. So it was a good night there, and I think that the Lady Rough Riders played very, very well. I think Coach Spikes has got her teams going in the right direction, but Lady Rough Riders came up a little bit short on that one there, and the Bullard Lady Panthers were able to get the 3-0 win on Tuesday evening. But I think that the Lady Rough Riders have a really good squad. They got some young girls that are coming up. They're learning the game there from Coach Spikes. They do good on their switches. And I think they set up each other very well and have some really good play there at the net. They got good service. So they got a good squad of team there that's coming up here. I don't think that they're going to make the playoffs this year. If they do, they're going to get in there probably on that 4 seed, but it'd be good if they can. But we're going to be their senior night. That's coming up next Tuesday as they will be taking on Rusk there in Center for on October the 29th. That will be senior night, and that will be one of the last final games of the regular season as they get ready to start the playoff run right there. Also, I got some of the other teams that we cover will be in Timpson tomorrow is where we're going to be, as a Beckville and Timpson are going to hook it up over there. But we were also had another matchup that we covered this past week in volleyball as well. And sticking with center, the center Lady Rough Riders are, like I said, they're really coming in. I thought they played very well. They had their opportunities to really had a couple times where they could have took some sets there, but just fell short there at the end. But I think Coach Spike's got the team rolling, and they may not make the playoff run this year, but I promise you next year they're going to be much better. Give them another year there, and I think that they'll be making even more noise next year as well. So good luck to the Lady Rough Riders as they continue here. And hey, finish strong. Finish strong here towards the end of the year. That's the best thing you guys got going. So hey, get out there and finish it up strong, and that's the way you do it. You just finish it up strong and try to carry all that momentum and take those seniors. I think there's one or two on there. Take those seniors and give that knowledge to those younger ladies out there, and hey, pass it on there, and they'll be ready to go for next year. That way they can carry on what you started here and make it even better for them next year. And that program just continues to build. It all starts with those kids. They just continue to build it throughout the year. So good job there by Coach Spikes and all the young ladies that are in that program right now, making that thing good, because I know Center Rough Riders volleyball is going to be a team to contend with in 4A over the next few years. I can guarantee you that. All right, let's move on here to Saturday. Saturday, I just happened to be perusing the schedules. And I saw that Coach Rupp had scheduled a game on a Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock with the Groveton Lady Indians. So, of course, I'm keeping up with all this stuff. And I've called the Lady Rough Riders, the Lady Dragons against San Augustine. And then Groveton, I saw them over there in San Augustine as well. So I got to see all those three teams there play together, and they all kind of played together there at that time. Groveton was able to get the win over San Augustine. But then we come down, and I saw that on Saturday. I said, that's going to be a good one, because the top of that district, you have Hemphill, Groveton, and San Augustine. And then I think it's Corrigan Camden right down in behind there. But those are I'm sorry, with Shelbyville, not San Augustine, but Shelbyville. And so if you have those, so I knew that was going to be a big one. That was going to be a big difference maker. Now I got to talk to Coach Rupp a little bit before the game for Hotto, Coach Fajardo for the Lady Indians there at Groveton. What a great young lady, a great lady she was. She sat there and talked to me for a few minutes as well. Got to talk about that great team they have over there. But Groveton looks really good. Hemphill, Groveton, and St. Augustine, and I said Corrigan Camden there, and that four teams that are probably going to make the playoffs out of that district. And I knew it was going to be a big matchup. So let's a little bit here it goes. So it was the first match. It goes to Groveton. They were able to get that first match, and Lady Rough Riders or Lady Dragons had their opportunity to win that match, that first set, but weren't able to pull it out. And then the second set comes along, and Groveton once again it was back and forth all the way through. And Groveton was able to pull it out there just a little bit at the end, but the Lady Dragons once again had their opportunity. So I'm saying, okay, 2-0 here. Here comes set number 3. Lady Dragons come out there and they take care of business in set number 3. They were able to get that one, so they forced the fourth set. So here comes on that fourth set. The Lady Dragons were able to get that fourth set, but then it was too much Groveton Lady Indians there in that fifth set. They were able to get that fifth one to get the home match there. But I tell you what, it was such a great privilege to be there, be a part of that match, because I was so proud of the Lady Dragons for coming back after falling down 2-0 to a very good Lady Indian squad there. Coach Fajardo's got her girls. They are rocking and rolling. They play very good volleyball over there. And so, I mean, I saw so many great volleys this week between Bullard and Center, and also between Groveton as well as Shelbyville. And even a week or so ago, whenever I was doing it over there in St. Augustine has got some great gals that can play over there. They set each other up really good too. They're going to be another team to be messed with. More likely next year, Coach Ebarb over there's got them ready to go too. But I tell you, this is some good districts that are going to be coming together here over the next couple of years in volleyball. But right now, that game on Saturday there between Groveton and Shelbyville, I knew it was going to be a tough, tight one, and I knew it was going to go all the way to the fifth set, and it did. But Groveton was able to come out there, and they got it 3-2 to win that one there, to knock the Lady Dragons down to 5-2 into the district. So I think that they're sitting there at number 3 right now. Still got a couple of weeks to go, but still a lot of action on the way. But great action here for us to call this volleyball this year and this week. Been a lot of fun. Like I said, we're going to be in Timpson tomorrow. Get to go see Coach Brewster over there, as well as Coach Belrose for the Lady Bears over there. They're going to be welcoming the Beckville Lady Bearcats. Haven't got to see Beckville this year, but I know that they're a very good squad this year. So I know that they're ready to come over there. And the Timpson Lady Bears, they're coming in their own under the Coach Belrose as well. I think that they're going to be ready to go probably again next year. But I think they still out there playing hard. They're out there playing every set, not giving up anything. And they play very tight out there too. Just come up short a couple matches here. But I think that they're going to be ready to go here. Coach Belrose will have them ready as we get through into the next season here, because I don't think Timpson's going to make that playoff, but they could still be an opportunity there. I think all teams still have an opportunity, but the way it sits right now, kind of down there a little bit, going to have to get some matches and a little bit of help. I do know that the Garrison Lady Bulldogs are going to be in there. I've already seen some Garrison Lady Bulldog shirts out there on GarrisonRadio.com. BulldogRadio.com. They do some great stuff. Those guys are awesome. They're going to be out and about there. I don't know if they're going to catch some of their volleyball matches, but we may try to do that too on the NFHS network. Same thing with Beckville. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it over there. Whenever that comes around for the playoff run there. And any team that's in there, Shelbyville, as well if Center makes it, or St. Augustine or Timpson make it in there, those are the 4 teams that we generally cover. Those are the teams that we're going to be taking care of over there as well. So those are the ones that are coming up. So continuing on here for some volleyball as we go in later on this week. Let's see, coming up this week here in the volleyball action, we got St. Augustine. They will be at Corrigan Camden. Hemphill at Groveton. That's for pretty much the top of that. I think Hemphill right now has maybe a match or 2 edge over Groveton there in that district, but that's going to be a good one too. Hemphill at Groveton. Hemphill, the Lady Hornets, better be ready for Lady Indians over there. Comanille, they will be visiting the Lady Dragons. Center will be in Madisonville for what I think is their final final road matchup for the year. They've been on the road quite a bit, but that's where they're going to be there. And right now, I don't think the Center Lady Rough Riders are in that district position to make it to the playoffs. But, hey, things can always happen here towards the end. You never rightly know. All right. So I see Coach Wallace is coming here. So we're wrapping up the part here for our volleyball action. So I tell you what, that's a good thing. And hey, come on here. We've been having a lot of fun with some volleyball this year. And I want to take all the coaches, Coach Ebarb, Coach Belrose, Coach Rupp, and Coach Spikes, all 4 coaches, for allowing us to come down. And I hope that we're able to do some more volleyball with some other teams next year. This is just kind of the way we jumped in it this year. We had an opportunity to do it. So looking forward to doing even more volleyball coming up in the playoffs and into next year. And basketball, too, for the girls. Going to get started first part of November. The guys closer to Thanksgiving, maybe a little after. We'll see how that goes. All right. We're going to talk some football. That is on the way. So stay with us, folks. Coming up here on the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show, we're going to talk to Coach Wallace of the Shelbyville Dragons. Had an exciting win over the Timpson Bears. Here we go.
Hope Community Medicine is a nonprofit faith initiative with the primary mission of providing quality health care to the people of East Texas, regardless of race, religion, socioeconomic status, or ability to pay. At Hope Community Medicine, they want to be the leading Deep East Texas care provider, recognized for their outstanding patient care, innovative technologies, programs, and medicines, as well as a highly motivated and distinguished staff. Hope Community Medicine, founded in faith, focused on family.
Hey, y'all got a dirty truck.
Well, then take it to Joe's Car Spa for a spa day.
At Joe's, they make 'em shine.
And they're standing by to work with the community.
They was elected best of Shelby County this year, and it's called Joe's, but it probably ought to be called Reed, since Reed Grant owns it.
So, Billy Don, when it's time for your car or truck to have a spa day, where do you take it?
I don't know where.
Sandy Cox is a good State Farm agent. Just ask Drake. He knows. State Farm agents in general are pretty cool, but Sandy Cox has the answers to your questions. Like, what's best for me, for my kids, for my business, for my farm? For all of us in Shelby County, those questions can be answered at Sandy Cox State Farm.
Serving our communities for over a century, Farmers State Bank continues to meet the financial needs of East and Central Texas. With roots that run deep, Farmers State Bank serves as a source of financial strength to meet the needs of our neighbors. From a comprehensive range of financial products to individual service, we remain dedicated to being a true community bank. Farmers State Bank, improving lives and fulfilling dreams.
Sparky D's Bargain Store. Who are we? We're an online auction store on Facebook. Find our page on Facebook. There you'll find a post for our weekly auction. If you find an item you like, place your bid and you could be a big winner and save yourself lots of money. We're on Facebook only for our weekly auctions. We're located in Center, Texas. Check us out on Facebook. It's Sparky D's Bargain Store, where we will save you more.
All righty, folks. Welcome back here to the Piney Area Coach Show from the pizzeria, enjoying some lasagna. That's what I had today here, and it's been such a crazy day here, but having a lot of fun. And we love coming down here for the coach. And with me is Coach Wallace of Shelbyville Dragons. And I tell you what, Coach, I was keeping up with you guys on the ball game there. And it was what an exciting game it sounded like it was once again for the Shelbyville Dragons. So tell me a little bit about how that all come together for a 1-point victory there in Timpson over a tough squad.
It's just back and forth. They have J.J. Garner was back last week, and he's an unbelievable player.
Yeah, kid's good.
He's a good kid. We had interactions between the game. Just good job here, good job there. And he's an unbelievable athlete. I thought that the Timpson Bears played really hard. Did a lot of good things. Quarterback number 3 is one of the fastest kids we've seen on the field all year.
Parker?
Kid. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I think that's
good with
good
Parker. Numbers.
Yeah.
But he can run. I mean, he can flat out run. And they have a few guys out. We have several out on the defense side, missing 5 starters going to that game. So we knew we're going to be in, I don't want to say a bind. We're going to have guys in different positions.
Right.
And so guys that haven't played there, got shuffled around and been on the field for us maybe, but in different spots and understanding new things. And defense forced 2 turnovers for us, got 1 stop on 4th down. And, at times we thought we played really well. It was a track meet, though. It was back and forth, up and down. With just kind of one shot after the other. It was we opened up the scoring in the first quarter, and it was kind of slow at first, and then all of a sudden a ton of points were scored, and it was kind of like that in the second half. I think we scored 30 points in the last 15 minutes or something. It was just one of those games where it was back and forth, and kind of, who had the ball last.
Right.
And so our kids played extremely hard, fought the entire game. You come down to the last minutes of the game and just kind of going through this. We had Hunter Harvey that had 8 receptions for 150 yards, and John Mathis had 11 receptions and 135 yard. He had 2 touchdowns. Hunter had a touchdown. Tanner was over 100 yards. He had a touchdown. And then we had Ronnie at 79 and Geechee at 60. And it's kind of, it's kind of like we talk about, 2 weeks ago, we were talking about Geechee. I think he had 9 catches for 177.
Right.
Our offense really allows us to take what they're giving us. The last 2 weeks, our running back has had more receiving yards than rushing yards.
Right.
He's still been over 100 yards in both games, but it's come in different ways. And it's what it allows us to do, and it allows us to get way deeper in the playbook with number 11 back there. I mean, young man threw for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns, and rushed for 119 yards and 3 touchdowns. And so
that's what he did this past week compared to what he did the week before, where he was the player of the week.
Yeah,
so
and
that's
so
awesome.
it was just unbelievable to watch number 11 right now. He's on fire, and hopefully he stays that way. And we keep playing well up front. We did a good job. They're athletic, man. They were, extremely athletic in a lot of different spots on the field. And so they did a great job of making us be patient and take what they give us and work the football down the field. We got over the top on them once. Other than that, we just had to do a good job within the offense and DJ understanding when they're blitzing and not blitzing, our offensive line picking it up, and being able to work the football down the field. And we had a little injury. Kid was okay. Had an injury early in the game that kind of sputtered our run game a little bit. Our tight end H back rolled his ankle, Aiden Shields, and so we used him sparingly from the second quarter on. It
Right.
just had to give him a different look, and it caused us to throw the football a little bit more. And again, DJ, I mean, he threw it really well. His completion, I don't know what his completion percentage was. He was 37 of 45. So whatever that comes out to be,
That's pretty good.
it's pretty good. I think he's at like 79% on
All
the
the season.
season.
Yeah.
And so just for our receivers, I mean, I think we had one drop, in 45 attempts.
Wow, that's good.
And so it's really hard to be able to execute like that, throwing the football. And we're just we're proud of those guys for playing hard, not losing faith, believing, and coming down to the wire. We scored with 18 seconds left to get within one, and then we went for two and got it with 18 seconds
There you go.
left. And it's just kind of one of those things. Somebody asked me today, the guy from the Detroit Lions,
Right.
uh,
Coach Campbell.
yeah, he's like you're like Coach Campbell up there. We can get in those situations. It's win or go home.
Right. Exactly.
We feel like at the 3-yard line, we have a pretty good opportunity to punch it in with number 11 back there, not taking away from anybody else's great players. Again, number 8 from Timpson is special.
Yeah.
They have other kids that are really good football players. We just feel really good, about the things 11 can do for us and put us in a good spot with the other guys around him. And so it's worked out for us.
Right.
We're just
Well, I do know because now I got to meet a couple of those young men, and then I got to meet somebody else last week or so, and then Jose Gonzalez, and so how my line do I know Jose? He was telling me how much he loved being part of it, So the line had to do some really good work out there for you guys.
Oh, no
to keep
doubt.
going
I
back
think we
there.
dropped back 45 times and didn't have one sack.
There you go. That's my line right there.
So
Good job, line.
some of those were turned into scrambles, so we could have caught a few more passes.
Right.
But out of 45 pass attempts, so it could be somewhere around 50. I don't think we had one sack.
That's awesome.
We were able to when we had the H back and they were able to run the ball, and Timpson did a good job in the box of mixing up their fronts and shifting late and trying to confuse our guys up front. But they work hard. They take some pride and some ownership in the line of scrimmage, and they try to get after you. And so it's fun coaching those guys and working with them. And we told them today, you guys do all the work, all the dirty work, all the grinding, and get the least amount of glory.
Right.
But our skilled kids and understand that if it wasn't for those 5 guys up front, that they wouldn't be able to do the things that they do. And I think that's what makes our dynamic really well. I mean, you don't hear our kids jumping on linemen. You got to block, or you got to do this, or you got to do that. It's a team effort because there's times where receivers don't block, or they don't catch a ball, or they false start, or they do things.
Right.
And nobody's out there trying to mess up. And so I think that the team dynamic is really good. And then again, I mean, defensively, I know it was 58-57.
But you guys played a lot of plays out there. I mean, if you had a lot of them, they had a lot.
I mean, I can tell you, we had.
That's what a lot of folks don't understand is when you run the type of offense.
We had 83. Yeah, we had 83 snaps, and they had 48 snaps.
Right, yeah.
And so you go and take. This was probably the week that we had the most kids playing both ways. Just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 kids playing both ways for us, Friday night, to where they're normally not doing that. Had somebody, ask me today, what do y'all do for conditioning? Y'all looked okay at the end of the game. Y'all didn't look fatigued. Kids just work hard.
Summer workout.
They just kind of get after it, and want to be able to put themselves in an opportunity to win a game, and that's what we did Friday.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's a whole team effort there because I know, like, you're a Texas fan, I believe, and so I was listening to yesterday and got on all the message boards. Who's to blame? Who's to blame? I was like, there's nobody to blame. That was a Texas loss. That was a team loss. It's a team win. It's a team loss.
I will have to say, gig 'em.
Yeah, gig 'em. No, that was pretty good.
I'm an A&M guy. I'm not a Texas hater, but I am an A&M guy. But I thought Georgia had a great plan. I mean, come out and you Texas is throwing a lot of outbreaking stuff, and Georgia's on top of it. And I think they changed that a little bit in the second half, and were able to complete some balls. Thought that Georgia's blitz package was really good. Confused some of them up front, confused the quarterback a little bit, held on to some balls, thinking that he was getting pressure even sometimes when he wasn't. And so very, very well executed from the Georgia Bulldogs standpoint. Didn't get to watch a ton of the game. Had my son's birthday party this weekend. Happy birthday to little dude today.
There you go.
But we got to watch a little bit of it. From my perspective, that's what I saw. They just made Quinn Ewers uncomfortable in the pocket.
Right.
He wasn't able to do the things that they normally do. Georgia took away some of their favorites, and they had to go to other stuff and just a little slow to it. And by the time Georgia had a lot of momentum, just SEC is a tough world to live in.
It's a whole different thing
No
than
doubt.
what they get into. But yeah, it was some good football there, and I know that's good. My buddy Shire's a little down on that, but yeah, I'm an A&M guy too, and I didn't think I didn't want to upset him. I thought Texas would maybe lose that game, but I didn't think it would be like that really. But anyway, yeah, that's some good stuff. But yeah, Coach, I'll tell you what too. Real quickly, because I want to let you get out, because I know you got stuff going on with your boy, and once you get home there. But San Augustine coming up this week, and San Augustine took a little lump on the chin last week against a good Garrison squad. But I tell you what, San Augustine, coaches like you guys are missing quite a few of their starters out there, for some injuries and stuff. But they get a few of those guys back. Like I said, this is a dangerous team. They got a great defensive front. They can run the ball pretty quick. They're very athletic out there. I don't know a lot about the Wolves, but I mean, this is a team that you definitely got to watch out for even if they are 3-4 right now.
Definitely, and that's something that we're not looking about. I mean, we're not talking about is their record. They have a lot of guys that have been hurt. They've had a lot of guys they've been missing off and on throughout the season. And then this is it's the big game. These two communities are pretty close to each other.
Right.
Kids are pretty close to each other,
Mm-hmm.
and so this is this is you don't take it any different than a rivalry game.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of emotion that ties into this game, and so it's it's something that you don't overlook. And we talked about it at practice. You got to find a way to be 1-0. You're playing a very quality opponent. They're extremely athletic all over the field, from their big guys to their skill guys. They move well, they run well, they do a lot of things that can hurt you. They just are unbelievably athletic from receiver to running back to D line, like you talked about in the box. Man, they're explosive.
Right.
It's a tall task. It's not something that is here. All coach, St. Augustine's 3-4.
Right.
Like you mentioned, this and that. That's not the case.
No.
And they got dudes, man.
Yeah.
You get a couple of those guys back, and you're looking at a completely different football team.
Yep.
And so it's going to be. I mean, it's going to be a battle. We know that. Everybody inside of our building knows that, and it's one of those things that we got to go out and we got to be able to play well.
Yeah, the San Augustine Wolves coming in here too, and like I said, they had a rough loss last week, but I know that they're going to be ready to roll coming into this ball game here, and take nothing away from their offense that they have out there. They could really get down the field quick. That's what was so good about it. And then their secondary, it just seems like their secondary is just annually just awesome all the time too. So that's one thing. If you got a passing game like what you guys have there, you have to really be careful how you plan that out, because they have some guys back there that can really cover on like a shelf or even a cover two. They're really good at disguising that.
Yes, sir. They are. They're good on the back end. They're athletic. We got to be precise. We got to give DJ clear looks and understand what defense that they're giving us, what they're showing us, what the roof looks like, what underneath, who they're dropping, where they're blitzing, and different things, and do a good job of giving him a concept that puts him in a good situation.
Right.
And I think that that's something that DJ's been able to handle this year. We go into the second half of the Garrison game, and we're running stuff from 4 weeks ago that we haven't practiced in 4 weeks.
Right.
We're looking back at those kind of things, and he's able to pick it up and handle it on the fly. The man, Coach Meeks, walking in the building.
There you go.
And just it's been fun, watching him and be able to handle the things in the way that he does it. And so it's he understands the tall task, and everybody in our building that knows the head coach as well as he does over there, being his uncle.
Yep.
And so it's a big game, man. It's huge, not just from the standpoint of Coach Barnes being DJ's uncle and that relationship and being family, just being tight. It's a big game.
Right.
It's a rivalry game. It's a district game.
Huge game.
You could call this district the SEC if you
Right.
wanted to. It's tough week in and week out, and you gotta be able to lace them up.
The games going on here, like another one, Timpson and Joaquin. That is going to be just one crazy awesome game
It
down there
is.
too. So that's another one to watch out for.
Everybody tried to say Joaquin's not going to be very.
I think Coach
Joaquin
Jones liked that
is.
because here they
They
are.
walk really hard. They always have. They play with a lot of pride and a lot of emotion, and those kids just flat get after it.
Yep.
They think they can win, and that goes a long way with kids.
Right,
If
definitely.
they believe in themselves, they believe they can win games. They give themselves a chance.
Yep.
And so that's going to be a great football game.
All right, and just so you know, folks, Shelbyville at Joaquin Halloween night on Edison. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I just so love it. All right, Coach. Well, I know you got your boy's birthday. Happy birthday to him, and thank you so much for being down here. And I talked to Coach Wager too, and he told me he does a little bit with the defensive line. So maybe we got to fix the defensive lineman to have breakfast. That way he could come down and have breakfast with us on Saturday.
He got to wake up early enough to do that first. Got to get him out of bed.
Got to get him out of bed and send him a little text. Hey, Coach, here we go. All right, Coach. Well, thanks a lot to you and the guys. Give it to me before we go.
Go Dragons.
All right, we're going to take a break, folks, and we'll come on back here at Piney Woods Area Coach Show. That's it.
Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Center has the new and used vehicles that you're looking for. If your vehicle needs service, stop by WrightChryslerDodgeJeep.com and get your service appointment, and also shop online. So you can come on down and let the guys make a great deal for you. And our knowledgeable staff will not let you leave without knowing everything about your new or used vehicle. Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram supports all the students of the Piney Woods.
Aurora Concepts Primary Care Center, and just behind it, Medical Specialist Center, is a team supervised by Dr. Jane Todd and led by Don Barnes. They're professionals. They provide good family care to everyone in the family. They're also your center for testing and vaccinations. When there's something wrong and you don't know what, call Aurora Concepts.
It's as easy as 1, 2, 3 to see why Blake Furniture is the top furniture company in East Texas. Get the lowest prices and discover our easy indexes. Get your credit pre-approved online at blakefurniture.com.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the pizzeria, a tradition since pizzeria just off the square in Center.
At Shelby Savings Bank, the same thing that's true at the Selma Street location is true at the North Branch. It's where banking meets the smile. They're not just friendly tellers, they're your friendly tellers. And the smile on Manager Janet's face, it's contagious. When you say Shelby Savings Bank is your friendly hometown bank, well, you hit it right on the nose.
All right, folks. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of a freeze up here on some internet. The internet has been crazy everywhere here last couple of days or whatever. Right? We turned down the bit rate here just a little bit, but hopefully everything coming back together. And my apologies. All right, let's continue talking about Piney Woods area football. That's where we are right here. And thanks to Coach Wallace for being here. I know he's got a young man's birthday today, so he wants to get home to him, and I can't blame him one bit. All right, so let's talk a little bit about it. Let's see. Coming up here, we have Hemp Hill will play at Garrison. Hemp Hill lost to Joaquin this past weekend, 52-26. Garrison was able to beat St. Augustine 31-0 to move to 5-2. Hemp Hill 1-6 onto the season. Now, St. Augustine, I said they will take on Shelbyville, leading the division right now at 6-1 all over. And we were talking with Coach Wallace there. Is they had a really good game. I thought they played a good game there against Garrison. Yeah, the score didn't really indicate it. It was just like the Wolves just seemed like every time they get a little bit of momentum, the Garrison Bulldogs found some kind of way to just kind of pull that momentum away from them there. And they with a turnover or just some little thing, there was just some kind of way they pulled that momentum away from the Wolves a little bit here. And that's on Friday night last week. So St. Augustine ready to rebound here. They get a couple of those guys back, ready to go for the next round, for the next one here against Shelbyville, and they should be really, really good there. Also going on is going to be Timpson at Joaquin. Timpson lost to Shelbyville 58-57, as we were talking to Coach Wallace just a few minutes ago, and I said Joaquin is now 5-2 as they beat Hemp Hill 52-26. Also into the area going on this weekend is going to be Cushing at Tenaha. That will be at the pit. That should be a good one there. Tenaha needs to get themselves a for the win as they lost to Mount Enterprise. West Sabine will be at Evendale. That's where they will be. And the West Sabine Tigers sitting at 4-3. They're looking to improve and stay really relevant there in their division as well. So that's kind of where we were with the football season so far. And joining us right now is Steve Shiner.
Hey,
How's everything going?
I'm going well. I just noticed we need Shelbyville and Joaquin to win this week, so sets up
The big matchup.
matchup on Halloween.
That's going to be a big one. Yeah, Halloween night, as I said, folks, we're going to be in Joaquin. It's going to be Shelbyville at Joaquin on Halloween night. That's Thursday. And then on Friday night, I'll be in Timpson. We'll be Garrison at Timpson. So
the Battle of the Toy
Yeah, that's going to be one big one right there tonight coming up. And also, I won't be over in Timpson tomorrow for volleyball. Beckville and Timpson tomorrow in volleyball. I'll be able to talk to Coach Brewster and Coach Belrose and Coach Gandy, hopefully over there as well, about being able to make sure we get some Timpson basketball coverage this year. We had a little bit last year, but we want to make sure we get a little bit more this year. Also with Joaquin, we're going to get their coming in there too. We're going to be at their house. So all over the place here with some basketball coming up. That is on the way too. Hey, another thing I was going to ask, we was talking about it a little while ago about the volleyball here. Now we're talking the next time we're in the center here, which will be next Tuesday. We'll be able to do one from the new activity center. Have you been over there yet? I went by there yesterday just to look, but I haven't been back in there.
I haven't been in there, so I want to get in there. Coach said we'll go and have a look at some point.
Yeah, I think we need to sneak over there sometime.
Yes,
so we
absolutely.
can go check it out, see what's going on over there too. But a lot of great action going on here in the Piney Woods, folks. I tell you what, we got a lot of good stuff coming up, and right now, a lot of people have asked me, where we're going after these games that we have set up here. And once it comes to the last week of the season, the way we've been doing it is really just finding those real important district games that are going on. And so that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. I think the last week of the season, I think I even have let's see, a Sabine Pass at West Sabine. That one may be there, or Timpson at St. Augustine. It could be Hemphill at Shelbyville. There's all kinds of different ones.
Right.
So, can't some way that's going to go out there too. So we got that all coming up, but we'll be covering all those. And once we get into the playoffs, we'll cover as many of the local teams we can. And I was talking a little bit about the NFHS, how we got to do that at the beginning.
Well, tell everybody, so with the NFHS, if you're out there and you want us to to keep the game and do bid on it.
Yeah.
But we need title sponsors to do that.
Yeah.
So
it's a kind of expensive thing to do. So.
Yeah. So if that's something you want, if you're a business out there and you really want get some great coverage and do something for the community, just contact us. Contact Chris Wallington or Mr. Pierce or myself, and we can try to make that happen. There's no guarantee, but there's a good chance that we can do that. We can keep it off the NFHS and continue to broadcast it for free of charge.
Right here.
Otherwise, pay your $11.99.
Yeah, I pay mine. I still have mine, even though I'm doing the games. I still have the NFHS because I go home and I watch it. You know what I mean? So there you go.
But our coverage when we contract with the NFHS, they pretty much let us do whatever we want. So it's the same. It's the same stuff.
Yeah. Just you have to end up having to pay for it there. And sometimes too, there's a little bit of an issue there with it, but it could go both ways. But I think I'm blaming most of the time on the NFHS. Anyway,
of course.
Anyway, but that's some good stuff here. And I just want to say a big thank you to all the wonderful sponsors who've been sticking with us here. We've had some wonderful people and some things coming along, and we've started something new here. And you want to check it out on Saturday morning of the week. And we are now moving to week number 3. We pick a lineman of the week, and we go down and be cafe and just sit there and just talk football with the guys and the coaches. And it's sometimes the last 2 weeks, I just look forward to going down there, man.
The lineman of the week gets all the pancakes they can eat plus one side of bacon. The only rule is that you got to eat at least one more pancake than the guy did the week before, up to 6.
Who do we have? Jenkins?
Yeah, JJ. Jamie
Jenkins. So he was there. But Corey should have been. It's Corey Smith. Ja'Cory. I think that he's wanting to come back and try to beat that again.
I suspect Ja'Cory can do that.
I think so. And so also too.
We had the young man from Shelbyville.
Yeah. Yes. Jose Gonzalez. He was there our first week. And since we'll be covering Shelbyville, and we were in St. Augustine last week, and also in Garrison. But I asked Coach Barnes, but he said the Wolves work early on Saturday, so they weren't able to bring anybody down. But that's fine. But I think Coach Wallace. And we'll have somebody from Shelbyville this week because we'll be in there from Shelbyville.
Yeah.
So there we go. So come down and have breakfast with us. It's a good time.
That's Diamond B's Cafe.
Yeah.
It's not quite your grandma's, but it's awful close.
Where I heard that before. Oh, no. Where we heard that one before. It's awful close, that's for sure. All right, well, we're moving along right here. We've talked quite a bit about everything here, but I want to say congratulations to the Garrison Bulldogs. We were out there. We got to cover them the last couple of weeks. Coach Alvarez and his great staff, they've done a great job. They've had a great game plan here, and they're moving along right there. So right now, I think it's Shelbyville, Garrison, and then Timpson right underneath there, or Joaquin. It is all right in there too. So
now
it's gonna
Timpson's
come right
got Gardner back at quarterback. We'll see we'll see what happens.
That was the big thing like Coach Wallace was talking about. You know, Gardner back there. He talked about Parker, how fast he was, number 3. He took over there. They got Wolf City game there. So you know they're going to be still a very good team here. They're going to get into the playoffs. They're going to make a lot of noise. So they're going to keep making noise. So they're going to keep moving on. And
got that championship DNA.
Yeah,
they don't just go away.
And it's like that. So just be ready for. Kicked out there.
But we got kicked off for a second. We may want, just in case folks missed that, let's go back and talk about Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween is coming up on the 26th at Portico Park. At Portico Park on the 26th, it's Halloween, brought to you by Happy Tales Adoption Center. And so get on over there. They're Shelby County Animal Shelter now. And they're always looking for good volunteers. Always need some dog food or anything out there as well. Cleaning supplies, anything that you can do to help. But come out there. I know they're going to have some cool things for sale and everything out there that day, and lots of good stuff.
But
dog treats, treats, lots of stuff for the kids.
But if you need a good dog,
or a kitty cat.
Yeah, they've got them. They just some wonderful. We get an update of some of the new residents and
pretty much every week here on another starting about 7:30 here on the Edison. Have a great night, everybody. We're out of here. Bye-bye.
The proceeding was a presentation of Watlington, Shires, and Pierce Productions. We hope you have an awesome and blessed night. God bless America, God bless our troops, and God bless each and every one of you.